Hi everybody, you're gonna listen only to my voice, okay? Because I want to explain to you the main thing about using the box sizing CSS property, why it helps a lot depending on your design, but especially when we are working with responsive web design. Let me explain to you one thing. When you set up, so here it's a very simple HTML that I set up with 3 different divs. The first div, it has a background cyan. The second div will serve to us as a scale, okay? And the third div has the background lime. Now, the thing is, I want to show to you how this can be done in regarding to using the box sizing. Because when you set up the width, notice that I set up the width of all the divs, of all the 3 divs, I set up as 500 pixels, okay? So they are exactly the same. But when you set up the width, you are set up in reality the content box. So if you go to the box model, okay, that I'm presenting right here to you, this blue part here, this I'm presenting using Chrome Developer Tools. Okay, so this part here is the content box. Note that you have padding, okay, which is still part of the box, the border, which could be done around the box that does not have anything right now, and the margin that goes around, outside the box, okay? This is the box model. So as you can see, by default, the browser gets the width that you put here in the CSS and put for the content part. Now, that means that look what happens, look what the browser will do with that first div. If I put here a padding of 20 pixels, okay? Just this. And I save this file, note that now it grew the width. And as you can see here below in the Chrome Developer Tools, it grew from 500 pixels to be in reality 20 pixels of padding on one side, 20 pixels of padding on the other side. So now my real width for that div is 540 pixels. That's why it's passing the scale. Okay, if I put a border, it will grow even more. So border 5 pixels solid red, and I save this file, you will see that this will grow even more because now I have more 5 pixels on the left side and more 5 pixels on the right side. So the real width, although I'm saying that the width is 500 pixels, like the width of the scale class, which is that second one here with a gray, a light slate gray color, okay, both have 500 pixels, but look that in reality in the browser it does not show the same way. Now, notes that what I'm going to do now. I'm going to go to the second, okay, to the one that has the class equals second. And I'm going to put here box sizing border box for that second div, which has a background color lime. Now I'm going to put the same padding that I put for the first, 20 pixels. And I'm going to put the same border, 5 pixels solid red. Now I'm going to save. Notes that in this case, now it was exactly the same that I put for the first, but in this case now, it didn't grow beyond my scale div. It didn't grow beyond. Why? Because I used the box size border box, which means that now the browser will consider the total width, including the padding, the border, and margin. Okay, so here, as you can see, in that scenario here, okay, although it shows that I have the border of 5 for each side and the padding, but now the width is considered all together. And as you can see, the width of the content now is showing 550 pixels. Why? Because it removed from the width or from the content box, it removed 20 of the padding and 5 from the border for each side, which goes to 50 pixels. So that's why my content, instead of being 500 pixels as given by the width that I set up in the CSS, it is giving me now 450 because of that box sizing. Sometimes, depending on the project, what a lot of people do is that they create this type of CSS here. They put the asterisk, which means everybody, and they put the box sizing border box. When they do that, as you can see, it applied also to my first div and of course to my second div. I could even remove from the second div, I could remove that line that I put because I put for all the elements to have the box sizing border box. Then you might ask me, but what if I would need the box to really grow? So then you would come up here inside the element that you want to grow, and you would put box sizing content box. So look what's going to happen. See? Then it is going to grow as with the content box. So if I put padding, if I put margin, if I put border, it will grow the displayed width. Okay? So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that now you understand why you are going to see in a lot of responsive websites the use of the box sizing with the value of border box. Have a nice day.